Shit, L'Oreal. Now, you know we love us some Issa Rae from her hit series on HBO, Insecure.
Love her.
Well, now you can listen to 2 seasons of her acclaimed podcast, Fruit, and that's on Stitcher Premium. Now, this gripping audio drama tells the story of X, an African-American pro football player on a journey of self-discovery and sexual exploration. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Written and directed by Issa Rae, the Sarah Award says Fruit raises the bar on what is possible in audio fiction. Now, you can start listening to Fruit now with a 1-month free trial to Stitcher Premium. All you have to do is go to StitcherPremium.com/fruit and use promo code Angela at checkout to get your free month. That's StitcherPremium.com/FRUIT. Lip service. Shit, what's up? It's Lip Service. This might be one of our biggest guests ever. I'm Angela Yee.
I'm Stephanie Santiago.
I'm Gigi McGuire.
I'm L'Oreal.
And
I'm D.L. Hughley.
That's
I just like the way you say I'm Stephanie Santiago. I never look up. That's that Latin disinterested thing.
How hard is it nowadays when people are always on their phone?
I think it's why we are the way we are as a society. I think that's why we're disinterested. I think that's why we have no empathy. I think that's why people, a woman will get beat and some dude will take pictures or whatever to get while she's unconscious to get likes, because I think people there's no human connection anymore.
Yeah, the craziest things happen on social media, and we really don't kind of feel too bad.
No, people make jokes out of everything.
Yeah, they do.
Like Tyrese crying.
Yeah.
I knew that was
horrible, though.
Yeah. I was like, damn, he can't see his kid. He hasn't seen his kid in 2 months, and everybody's making songs about it and laughing.
I think they say, I have kids, and I cry when they come home, but that's...
out of tears of joy, I'm sure.
Shit, you motherfuckers won't leave. But I think that you can't, as a society... the bad thing about social media is it catches you at your worst moments and then your best, and everybody has a prism. Like it used to be, in order to say something dumb, somebody had to ask you a question. Now you can just get on your phone. It's just, to me, when I saw Tyrese, as a black man and as a father, it's the reason why men of color don't really express themselves like that, because they're, because
people make fun of you, right?
Yes.
But you have to admit, the whole part of him saying that he's broke and needs money, I was like, and then he got $5 million from Will and Jada. I was like, $5 million.
I'm gonna cry on your podcast right now, see if I can get enough to cover this bourbon.
Wait, I didn't hear that. They gave him $5 million.
Yes.
He posted it.
It says, "Shut the fuck up."
He posted a post.
They told him to stay on social media, and then he goes on social media and posted.
He posted a picture of him and Will Smith saying like, "Oh, they just gave me $5 million."
Yeah.
Oh nah. He did good for that cry.
The $5 million cry.
When I saw him crying, I didn't find it funny. It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They made a song out of it.
I just
feel bad about it?
I felt bad, but
Wow.
I just feel like, some things you just shouldn't put on the internet, so, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but look at our whole society, our president, the biggest
He's
reality
awful
shows.
with the Twitter.
He's
It's
disgusting.
ridiculous.
I'm
So
sorry.
I think that's what we do.
Right.
That's what we do.
It's not. Have you ever put anything on social media that you regretted after?
No. I mean, I just think, it's... I remember when Debbie Allen died, Debbie Reynolds died, I did this joke.
Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen, I'm sorry.
You heard it here first.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Debbie and Norm. I'm sorry. But when she died, I told, I did a joke, and people got all upset. But to me, it's just like, I don't know you. What the fuck I care what you think of me? That's like, I think when you're younger, you tend to get affirmation from people that have no idea who you are, no connection to you. And you look for it in all the wrong, I don't even know necessarily know it's the wrong places, but you look for it in different places. And I just think social media is a tool, that you use, no different than a hammer. I mean, it can build a house, or you can hit your fucking hand and hurt yourself. So it doesn't.
Or
it's
you
a
can kill
tool.
someone.
Yeah,
Now, did you see?
someone.
Because now, as a comedian, sometimes, right, it feels like the world that we live in is a lot more, PC right now.
It shouldn't be.
But it is, don't you think?
I think it's actuality. In actuality, it's not. When you let children get when you let children get killed in church and you don't do shit about that, and you care about what joke I tell, fuck you. Who cares? Right. Like you watch people die and brutalize themselves at your hand. And the worst thing you could, like to me, the cat that played Frank Underwood fondled somebody, and he lost his job playing president. But the real president fondled somebody, and he still got
fine.
in.
He's good.
Yeah, I ain't never thought about it like that.
Why a society that doesn't, a society that gets mad at a cat like Colin Kaepernick for making a principled stance. They don't get mad at that. They get mad at him and they call him a traitor. But they want monuments to people who actually betrayed the country. Right. Like Robert E. Lee killed more Americans than Hitler, and he gets a fucking statue, and you more mad at the nigga that just wants you to stop killing him. I have no use for people that have no judgment, that have no kind of continuum of experiences to judge me from.
Does it get discouraging sometimes, where you just feel like, man, what is this world that we live in? Because I think that at least twice a week. It's crazy. What kind of world do we live in?
I do that twice every hour.
Listen, I be looking at the news, and news makes me depressed.
So sad.
Does it?
It does. The news. Like, I was watching the woman whose son died from cancer.
Yeah, the little boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was
I was like bawling, crying, watching all of that happen. Yeah. And then, like you said, the shooting that happened, the mass shooting in Texas in the church, and then you see the pastor's daughter, and you see a family of 8 people killed.
But you know what's so funny?
By the white man.
What is funny is, first off, when a white dude got 3 names, you shouldn't sell him a gun. The motherfucker Wayne Gates, they always got 3 names and a fucked up haircut. You should never. And every time
fucked up haircut.
They always have 3 names. They always use all 3 of them. They always have a fucked up haircut. And every time they show a high school picture of them, it looked like they was crazy.
Right.
So you
Their hair be all messed up.
Right. You should arrest them motherfuckers as soon as the film get developed. Come here. Olin Mills, come with us.
I'm scared of them.
All right, now I want to ask you this. The holidays are coming up, right? Sure. Now, imagine this, because we know you've been married for 31 years, so you don't have to worry about these things. Right. But let's just say...
Well, my girlfriend I do, but not my wife. Yeah. Why are you saying that?
We were at a whole discussion about you before you came
we
up.
did.
Okay. Like, he doesn't cheat anymore. But...
Because I'm exhausted. Did you ever see Carlito's Way when he go, I didn't rehabilitate, I ran out of wind.
Listen, I always say this. My ex-boyfriend, when I was younger, he cheated on me, and his mom told me, you know when men stop cheating? When they get too tired to do it. She was like, his stepfather used to cheat on me all the time, and then he got too old and too lazy and too tired to do it. You just got to wait it out.
Right.
What I was like, he's only 26.
Oh, shit.
That's going to be a long
time. Waiting
30 years
20 years.
And medication.
You got to wait till he needs you.
Why is that? Okay, this is what I never understood.
Oh, God.
So there are 11 women to every man on the face of the earth, right?
Not in China.
That was just talking about worldwide. 11 men to every face, every 11 women. Excuse me, every 11 women to every man on the face of the earth.
Okay. Yeah,
so if every man was faithful to a woman, it'd be 10 angry broads. That would be 10, and I don't want the world to be like that.
I don't know if that statistic is correct.
I think it's 10. I think it's 10.
But what about like gay people?
Gay men.
See, that makes it more
even
fucked
worse.
up. See?
Why?
It cuts the ratio down even more.
Yeah, that's like the numbers.
But okay, so what about you? Think men shouldn't be monogamous? What about women? Are we built to be monogamous?
I think that if you are, I don't like that women take our worst qualities to say that you're like the only reason to be with a woman is because she makes you better than you would otherwise be. But if she starts acting like you would act, then what's the point? If you don't elevate me, if you don't make me aspirational, if you don't make me want to do things and be better than I am, it galls me when women want to act like the very worst of us, like take on our very worst attributes, and they're not equipped to be that way.
I see. Now here's what I think. I think that the way that society is now, I think at a certain point in time, women had to put up with a lot because we didn't have jobs. Our job was to hold down the household. The men were bringing home the bacon, and you kind of felt stuck in a relationship. And that happens, sometimes even now. But as women are becoming the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, as we're getting out there and working, we're realizing, well, he did some fucked up shit to me. I ain't got to stay.
Right.
And I can, and I do think that for men, and they've done studies on this, they said in over 1/3 of marriages, one or both partners admit to cheating. 14% of women admit to cheating, 22% of men say they did.
Well, 14% of women are fucking lying if they, if it's 14%, who we fucking?
Single men.
Like the idea, I think women have different justifications for what they do. Mm-hmm. Like
I think women also don't get caught as much.
Right.
I think women wouldn't admit it. Like you said.
They just ain't gonna sit up and tell you that.
Yeah. They'll be like, no, I never cheated. No,
women don't get caught like men do either, though. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Not as much.
I get caught.
Stephanie did.
I don't know how you get caught. You don't even move. Shit. How
did you get caught, Stephanie?
From my phone. I got caught a few times, but one I could think of, a real memorable one, is actually I got drunk and I blacked out drunk. usually like I would sleep on my phone in like my pillowcase. Like I would sleep like this on my phone.
What?
So I got drunk one night, and I get drunk and I do, like I was saying
That's why
earlier,
you won't
I don't drink no more because I do stupid shit. I still do this. When I come home drunk, I take everything off. I start throwing everything. I throw my keys. I throw my phone. I just throw everything. I don't know why. It's stupid. But whatever. I did that. I threw my phone. I threw everything, and I went into the bed and I went to sleep. And he went through my phone while I was sleeping.
Shit, what was in there? Just conversations?
He found that one time he found an email. I was emailing with somebody.
He went to your email and everything.
When I see women cheat, I just don't like them.
No, I'm not a cheater anymore though. Like I've been with
men can do it, but women can't.
Yeah. But G, you know I'm not a cheater anymore.
Gigi, so you've cheated.
Even in the Bible.
Have you ever cheated? Yeah, you've cheated. Now, why did you cheat?
Because he was cheating.
That's right. See?
Reciprocation.
You can't, it ain't even original. You just copy.
That was the reason. Reciprocation. Oh, you doing that? Well, then I'm gonna do this. Right. Why not?
Even do you know you go to church, right? You're a woman of color. That's what y'all think y'all got to do. So
what?
It's true.
She just go to church.
I do watch church online.
Right. Yeah.
I watch church at 4 a.m.
Yeah, right. I might get killed.
So do you know every man that you read about in that Bible had a lot of women? All of them.
What about
Jesus? A lot of women. Well, Jesus did, but that was it. But all the dudes he ran with did. Like Job, when he took the trials of Job, he took his wealth, his health, and his what? Women. God never said Ruth and Naomi. They belonged to one guy.
Well, see.
David.
But do we follow the Bible word for word still to this day?
Okay, but you can't pick and choose.
But this is what I want to say.
Well, you're picking and choosing.
You don't
like
that.
No. But me personally, I'm a different type of woman because I believe that most men cheat, and I believe that most men are gonna cheat. I believe that.
How does that make you different?
No, because some women believe that men don't cheat. Some women believe that they shouldn't cheat. I don't think they should cheat, but I expect it. Like, I'm not surprised if a man cheats.
I feel like there's men who don't cheat too.
I believe that.
I think majority of men cheat.
Yeah, the
majority of men do cheat.
Dudes who don't. This is the funny thing that's hilarious to me.
There's a small number of men who don't cheat.
The very shit that you like in a dude is the very shit you want other women to like in a dude. Right? But if he does something that hurts your feelings, women only want a certain type of dude. The dude, every woman in here, you're very attractive. You had some dude that was crazy about you and was faithful and would do everything, and he bored you to fucking death, and you didn't like him.
I like
just
being
because.
bored.
Now
I'm not gonna say I didn't like him, or that I got bored, but it didn't work out.
Any dude who probably don't mess around no more is having a good time with his boyfriend. I'm just telling you that.
Either way, he's cheating.
Yeah, that's still cheating.
Either way, I'm getting cheated on. I'd rather be cheated on with a woman than a man.
He's with his boyfriend.
Yeah,
he's not
I'm
thinking about you or nothing else. You're not with him
It's
no
so
more.
funny because
He's with
you
his
want
boyfriend.
dudes. If you describe the dude that you describe in your head, the ones that are on these movies and these poems and this shit, dudes like that would bore most women to fucking death unless they've had a lot of experiences and now are open to having some experiences that aren't quite what they want.
Because we look for the bad boy.
It's
9
not
times
me.
out of 10.
I like to go to work, come home, and lay up.
Yeah, but you just said
that
you had a
sounds
boyfriend
great.
that cheated
I like
on you
that
for a
too.
long time, and then
That was back when I was a long time ago when I was young.
That's right. So now life done kicked your ass. And you're like, fuck this. I want to lay down.
I probably wasn't shit either, though. I mean, we were young. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't shit when I was younger.
Yeah,
at all. Not by any means.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, like you said, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to do all that.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, I'm not even that old, but I still feel like I'm cool. I lived.
Now, what advice?
For me, I do not like the pain that you see in a woman's face when you do something. That's the shit right there. So now you just get better at it. So
Get better at cheating?
I gotta be careful. No,
I would think that
just don't like the
guys
pain.
who cheat should be worried that their girl is cheating too.
Sure.
Because all that time when you like, oh, I'm going to do this and covering your tracks, she's like, all right, he's out of here.
Bye, motherfucker.
That is
Girls trip.
She's calling Tyrone.
Get back to girls trip with a side of dick.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
And we're very good at cheating because, like, our friends are in on it.
Yeah.
Think about that. Guys cheat and they don't cover their tracks. Guys, y'all cheat and do shit off on your own, make up excuses, and don't inform your friends that they're involved in the cheating.
Here's what I've noticed about
You cheat as a
situations like
unit.
that. You know, but it's always one wink leak you can get to.
Right.
Come here, Cecilia. You know what happened. All right, I'm sorry. I love Jesus and I shouldn't do it.
Exactly what happened to me.
That's what happened to
that's
Gigi.
Yeah,
That's
it's
how
always
Gigi
one
got caught.
snitch.
It was the weak link.
Yep. And we know them. But it's always.
Yeah, that's one thing about me. When I was cheating, I wouldn't tell anybody.
That's a
What you
smarter
were doing.
idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't even tell my homegirls. Well, except for Jess, but Jess is like telling myself.
Right. Or you'd be like, I'm going out with Angela, and you're not really.
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Like I'm not you, but somebody like that.
You
Exactly. Yeah,
crack
not
me
me.
up. Are you Sheila this close to passing out?
Yeah.
You just smoked.
No, not
Just
even.
thank God. Chill right
Thank
now.
God.
No, but I was saying earlier, I'm really tired today. Like I couldn't sleep last
Well, it
night.
worked for you.
I'm really tired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I like it. I swear I did.
You like the vibe?
Yeah, whatever it is.
All right, cool.
What it is. It's very Latina. Just whatever.
Now, let's talk about holiday season coming up and being in a new relationship, right? When do you bring it up to somebody? As a woman, what would you advise somebody if they asked you, I've been dating this guy for 3 months. Okay, this is a real situation. It's not me.
Right.
But I need to know, like, is he just with me? Should I ask? Am I asking what's going on? Are we in a relationship? Should you ever bring that up?
Well, I tell you what that lawyers say, never ask a question you don't know the answer to. And when you're on the streets, you never ask a question they didn't ask. So it depends. A lot of people always pretend like they want to know something. What your mama say? If you go looking for something, you're going to find it. So make sure you're ready. And a lot of chicks don't want to look for shit around the holidays because they want a good holiday. They're like, fuck it, let's just do this.
She wanted that Chanel bag all year.
Right. Just keep it moving.
They always say that people break up the most around the holidays.
Yeah.
too.
The guys, they trying to save that money. They like, let me get
Now
rid
you
of
know our
this.
secrets. Yeah.
Let me get rid of this bitch, the side bitch, and the other bitch.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy a present? That sucks.
No,
Hell
not
no, they
me
don't.
now.
It's not even
He's
just
like,
buying
not
a
me.
present.
No,
It's
not now.
buying presents. It's spending time.
Right.
Like you got to choose who you going
Now
to spend
you could
your
come
time.
up with something like, "Oh, my mom's live in Virginia." They could come up with some kind of lie, but you can't lie with a gift.
One of
You
my
gotta have
homegirls
a
dated
gift.
this guy for 3 years and never met his family. And every year he would say he was going to spend time with his family and never invite her.
Yeah, he didn't like her.
What?
No,
He didn't like
his
her.
wife was there. That's
Right.
why.
That's what I said. But she was
Something.
with him every night.
Yeah,
like-
his wife was there.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe his parents were
I was
really
saying maybe his parents
embarrassing.
were his-
My parents are bad. My dad's embarrassing. I'm not
My
kidding.
parents.
No, he's not. He's not funny.
Is your dad embarrassing?
No, he's
Hell
hilarious.
Yeah, my dad's
No,
embarrassing.
he's cool.
He's mad
I
cool.
like your dad.
Nah, my dad says like mad inappropriate shit.
He does
I
say
probably
inappropriate
like your
shit.
father.
He's Chinese.
He's Chinese.
Is he?
Yes.
Ooh,
So you
tell us
Chinese
the-
nigga? You Chinese
Chinese
black?
nigga.
And he's
God damn.
he's so embarrassing.
But so he's the Chinese guy?
Yeah.
And he got a black woman?
Yeah.
Boy, did that do. He in for.
Her mom was here earlier.
Yeah,
You
she
could
was
have
here
met her.
I bet he never. What are all these products on my fucking counter? Why do you have a stove in the bathroom? Who fries hair?
He would say that. He is crazy.
We spent Thanksgiving at one of my friends' houses, and he was like, "This is just like soul food." Because we be having like fried rice and stuff like that for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not.
Do all your friends think your father know karate? Do they all think that?
Yeah.
He does.
Does he really?
No, I don't know.
That's pretty. Like it's most people come from one experience, so it's dope that you have culturally different experiences that you kind of both are.
Right.
You
No,
t-
it is. It's cool. I like the fact that I have like these different cultures.
Yeah.
Right.
In me. Have you ever done like 23andMe or whatever that
Oh my
test
God, I'm
where
about
you
to do
find
it.
out?
It's
Yeah.
on sale right now. Did you know
Is
that?
it on
It's
sale?
on sale.
How much?
You
I
did
think
it,
it's like
DL?
$49.
DL Hughley did it. Okay, so
What?
what are you?
When it's nondescript. They had to make me do it twice because they could not find out where I was from.
Wait, can y'all tell me what it is? Because I never
It's
heard
like your
it.
your
DNA,
blood
the test like
Ancestry.com.
You probably
Yeah,
have
it's
a
what's called
negative blood
23andMe.
type.
I don't know.
you
but they
like
couldn't
do a
find out where I
swab
was
of spit or whatever, and then you send it in, and they tell you like your genetic makeup.
For real?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
So you're
If
nondescript.
it's $49,
But that
Could not
explains a
find out where I
lot.
was from.
That means you.
That means
What?
that you mixed with a whole
Are you
lot of
an
everything.
alien?
That explains a lot. He's not
I felt
from
like
here.
that. I was like, wow, this motherfucker ain't from nowhere.
Yo, that's weird.
No, Paris found out that she was 30% white Caucasian. She was mad as hell.
I would be too.
She was so mad.
If I found out I had a lot of white men, I'd be mad.
I have a lot of my mother's father is white, so I know they're gonna tell me I got some white in me.
You said definitely.
But if I got white, I want white I can use. Fuck just boutique white. I need white I can cash in. I don't want to just be a white dude that people don't recognize as white. I've been a nigga long enough. I want to break. If I had white in me, it better be white people respect. Goddamn.
I bet a lot of white women have come on to you though.
Not really.
I can't believe that.
I never knocked off a
They
woman.
probably last seen
You've never been with a white woman?
Never.
I don't believe that. Never.
I believe it.
Why?
You don't want to be with a white woman then.
Well, it's not that I don't.
You never wanted one.
Here's the thing.
Becky with the good hair.
It never seemed to me organic. Where I just see some broad, hey you.
Right.
But it never seemed. It always seemed like some old.
You seem very white woman accessible for some reason.
Well, that's
What's that?
I'm available. No, but I tell you what, if something happened to my wife, I'm give me a Spanish woman.
Why?
There we go.
Because they get naked when they get drunk. And if something happened to her, I'm gonna give me a Dominican or Puerto Rican.
Why? Why is that? Why not a black woman?
I've been with a black woman my whole life. I've done that shit.
Puerto
What about a
Rican's
white woman or
pussy
Asian
wet.
woman?
Well, you know what? Maybe an Asian. The thing for me, this is just the truth for me. For me, when I see black women, it's not some misguided sense of loyalty. I've just never seen anything that moved me like they do.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
The way they talk, the way they can shut up more, but the way they
Part of the way they move.
The way they move, the way they hold shit, the way there's to me nobody that you ever had like a food that hurt your stomach after you ate it?
Cheese.
But you know it's gonna hurt your stomach, but it's so good.
But it's delicious.
That's black women to me.
It happens to me all the time.
I'm gonna eat this ice cream because I'm going home.
Right. I'm gonna be in the bathroom. Yeah, that's what they do.
I'm gonna be home. I can only eat this on my way home. So a white woman's never sucked your dick or anything?
Wow. Well, does that count?
Yeah, it does count.
If you pay them, is that the same?
Yes,
thing?
it counts.
Wait, you paid them?
Yeah. Well,
I don't see you having to pay. Why do you have to pay?
I think he was telling a joke. I don't know if he
I thought you were
I wasn't
serious.
kidding, but
It looked like he was pretty serious.
No, I wasn't kidding, but no, it's not a misguided sense of loyalty. It's just they don't. Women of color, I like black and Latin women. I think they're just stunning.
But those are the best women. The
stunning.
black women and the Latin women, they're the best.
Yeah.
I want to know if you think it's cheating if you pay them.
Is that cheating?
No.
Of
I don't
course
think
it's cheating.
It's a business transaction.
Business
Yeah, for sure.
transaction.
So it's not cheating if a woman pays a gigolo either. We had a gigolo on here the other day from the Showtime
Well,
show.
she better use my money.
Okay, she used her own money.
I don't use. I don't use your money for
when you
ass.
said
You better not
you had
use.
to pay. There's some men that, like you said, I wouldn't think you had to pay. Men don't have to pay. They pay out of convenience. They pay you to
Absolutely
come
right.
handle your business and shut the fuck up.
Oh,
and
they
leave.
pay you to shut up. Okay.
And leave.
But I don't
pay. I'm paying you to leave. I'm paying you to not ask me no questions.
But so for
I'm paying you to cut the chase. No, I'm paying you to cut the chase. I don't want to bullshit around.
That happened to Tiger.
I don't want to run around the
you-
mulberry bush. Bitch, you know what I want. I got this check for you.
But
You
look,
keep this
like we
moving,
were saying,
and I'm out.
like we were saying, you could still pay her and she could still tell. Like paying her ain't going to change nothing.
If she's smart, bitch, she gonna keep her mouth shut.
At least
You have something to throw back.
at least you like, hey, bitch, you knew what this. You ain't. If you do that, you ruin your business.
Right.
Right.
The business
You're gonna get a bad
transaction
Yelp
cuts the
review. I know that shit.
The
She
business
told.
transaction
She
cuts
told
the
a lot.
confusion of the what are we?
Would you go
know?
and write a
You said
review?
what?
Stop.
The business transaction cuts the confusion of the what are we question.
Right.
Like, bitch, you know what this is?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times guys will offer girls money because it just gets all the middle stuff out the way.
Yeah, that's I just.
You
said
know what
that.
I mean? She
We're
wants
not gonna
money.
beat around the bush.
She wants
women
sex.
or,
It just
you-
happens. You
But
know
if
what
you
I mean?
dig a shit, like if you dig a woman, like the for me, just me, I can't speak for nobody. If you dig a woman, you dig doing shit for her. You dig it.
I agree with
Right,
that.
You dig it. I
agree with that.
If I want you to, it's a whole different.
But that's a different kind of thing, you know. That's you like somebody.
Yeah.
You don't really like somebody you want to pay for them. You just would like to have sex with them. That's why you.
But
pay them.
now I'm so old. If I can't, I can't. You have to have a way about you. And if you have a way about you, I want you to be all right. Like I don't want. Like I was in the store yesterday, and I think I told you the story. I was in the store and they said, "Hey, you stupid bitch." Like he said that to her. Like, hey, partner, why would you even want to be with somebody you think that little love?
Right.
And what is the thing about that? That don't make you a man. That's a man. Why would you want to dehumanize somebody? And that's how you. Why would you even want to be around? Like, life is so short. Why would you even want to be around anybody that doesn't do it for you?
You said that in the store to
I
someone?
said it to him at parties yesterday.
Damn, you like a Superman.
I'm like, hey man, but you know what it is? You know what it is? This is my honest truth. I think that a man is never supposed to. I think that women of color, all women, but a man has a certain level of responsibility. Like, you shouldn't just let no woman get her ass whipped.
No, absolutely
not. Or you
not.
shouldn't just let some shit slide.
Right.
And if you're a man, and the only reason you exist on the face of the earth is to protect and provide for the people you love. That's all you exist for. So if you, and that extends to everybody that's in your circle, like that when that gorilla, that baby fell in with that gorilla in Cincinnati.
Right.
And they shot the gorilla. He only exists to provide and protect for his family. That's all he does. That's what he never once tried to hurt the baby. The females ran on the hill and he was like, "Who baby is this?"
Right.
But I think men and I think women act like they act now because you said something earlier. You said that it's because they can work and they have their own money. It used to be a time a woman knew there was a dude who had her back and she didn't want to act a certain way.
Right.
Whether he had another family or not wasn't the issue. It was that you knew he was going to do what he had to do to take care of his family, and he wasn't going to let nobody do anything to her. I think women feel unprotected, and that's why they act like that.
You know what? Part of the problem though with men cheating is that sometimes the other woman feels like really entitled and disrespectful.
That's
right.
And that's a problem that men, like, they cheat and then the other woman is, I got your man, he don't want you. How does my pussy taste?
Exactly.
They don't stay in their place.
That shit, and then they start
Have
sending
you been on my emails? I don't like this. This is not fun.
But I'm saying that's the disrespect, because it's not even that you just cheated and you're taking care of home, but you're not taking care of home if somebody else could come talk shit about you.
Hey, look here. It was three. You a young dude, so you don't know.
I'm sorry,
this.
your wife hit me right before this.
Right. When I grew up, it was 3 rules. It was that you had to be home. You had to take care of your family. You had to be home before the street lights came on. The sun came up, and you couldn't let no bullshit come to your house.
Thank God for daylight savings.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Poppy got another hour. But the idea was, I knew dudes and a lot of dudes who raised 2 families. And they was both on the other side of town, and they met at the funeral. But everybody understood.
They always meet at the funeral.
They're like, "Who's that over there looking like daddy?" But people, both parties got that this dude take care of us,
Right.
and I don't want to see. It's the choices you make. Like, I think that women judge men on the choices they make. You fuck this bitch,
Right.
like, why her?
Yes.
That is true.
I do that.
I
I
lose respect for
definitely
somebody
do
based
that.
on who you cheated. You cheated on me with this
Right,
person?
right.
Oh, come on.
Right.
Yeah. And nobody's
Not even if they
nobody's
lose,
ever good
no.
at
Not
it.
even
It'll make you
not
lose
even
all
whether
respect.
the guy cheated on me with her or not. If it's somebody in the past before me, it's like, oh, you were her. That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even believe I touched you.
Gigi got something to say.
Anyway, going back to what you were saying about having different families and stuff, y'all know that I have a sister that's 16 days younger than me, and my mother and her mother, neither one of our mothers is my father's wife.
Damn.
He ain't playing.
Yeah, he ain't bullshitting.
Like, you know.
But how does that affect you? Because then you also have to think, how does that affect the families and the kids and all of that?
Growing up, the mothers, were against each other. As we grew up and my father kept us all the children close, the mothers had no choice but to accept each other. And
I've seen that.
My mother and my favorite stepmother became really close over the years. Unfortunately, the third mother never really joined in, and they just never, got
But your
along
father
like that.
kept.
But my father kept all
his
me
kids,
and my brothers and sisters. We are all very, very close.
I
very,
think
very close.
Because your
And-
father wasn't ashamed.
No, he wasn't, and he kept us family oriented. He kept us with his family a lot growing up. And my father has a type. We all look. You can't tell whose mother is who because all of us look exactly alike because all of our mothers look like sisters.
That's crazy.
I respect. Well, there used to be a thing called honor among thieves. We doing dirt, but at least we get it. But I remember I got jammed up, right? So I had knocked this chick up, and she had the baby, and the baby got killed by her boyfriend.
Oh my
God.
And so it was a horrible horrible experience. So I had this baby I'm paying for. I'm a boy. I'm scared. I'm married. I'm just starting out my career, and I get a call from my boy, and he said, "Your son is in the hospital." And I go, and they were Cape Verde. She was from Cape Verde. So I go to the hospital, and this boy was laying in the bed, and apparently her boyfriend had shaken him and hurt his and damaged his brain.
Oh my God.
So what I always thought about was that I knew that one day I would be man enough to tell my woman what had happened, and it would either, because I think you shouldn't leave children out there by themselves, but I was weak and dumb and small. So he passes. I'm so fucked up. Finally one day I tell my wife, you know what she said to me? I wish you would have told me and we could have went through this together. And that's when, and so years later, I'm at the airport. That was when you could, remember you used to be able to go to the airport with your, you didn't have to go, you didn't have to have a ticket to go through
walk
the thing.
through, yeah. To see
you could meet your family or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Right,
one day
at
the
the
girl
gate.
that I had the baby with is there. My wife meets me at the plane. I see her see us, and I know she's thinking she got me in the trick bag. And I say, baby, this is the girl I had the baby by.
Oh, wow.
And my wife said, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I felt so small because I was a coward two ways. And it starts to change the way you see stuff. I think when you're very young and I never felt bad about my inclinations I have felt bad about the damages it's done to the people in my life. And I don't want to be the kind of guy that at the end of your life, you just broken a bunch of people, children and women and family. And so I think a lot of guys feel like that. It doesn't mean that I don't do what I do, but it means that I take measure of what I do. And it doesn't, like, I feel bad for you that you were telling me about your father and how he kept. He would have been that to me. I think I would have been that kind of guy. And it makes me sad for you that something like that happens to you, but it makes me happy. It makes me happy for you that you had a man that guided you through.
Right.
That he wasn't a coward. And no matter what I do with the rest of my life, I'll always know that moments would have counted I was a coward.
The craziest thing about all of that is that, of course, we all were raised together, but I didn't find out that I always thought that I was a year older than my sister. I didn't find out that we were 16 days apart until maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
That's crazy. So you never really knew her.
No, so
age
that
and
part,
all
like, I knew that we were all stair steps. Like, I knew that, he went back and forth.
But you didn't know the stairs were that
because
close.
There's a brother and another sister that we're all like a year. So I knew he was going back and forth. But when I found out that my sister was 16, my head was blown. Like, I couldn't believe that.
So y'all ain't stair steps, y'all escalator steps.
Right? We on the elevator.
Like,
that means our mothers were pregnant at the same time, the same amount of months, same amount of weeks, going through the same thing at the same time. And he going back and forth between them, but still got a wife at home.
Damn.
And then she turned around and had a baby. After we were born, I have a brother that's younger than us that is by the
Your
wife.
problem is you know math. That's your fucking problem. You need to stop reading shit.
I do respect that he raised you guys together and that y'all know.
At least he took care of all of y'all.
He did take care of all of us.
That too.
No, he took care of all of us. I went to private school and everything, but the mother, even though the mothers fought each other so much, he didn't care. He snatched us up and had us with his family, and we were able to be together no matter what our mothers, were going through amongst themselves, playing on each other's phones and fighting and all of that.
Right.
He made sure that he grabbed us up and picked us up and took us.
That's
we spent
shit.
holidays together and everything.
And that's, at least the moms let him come take
Not
them.
let him.
Yeah,
Because some mothers will try to
Let me
keep
tell you
you
something.
away.
Here's the thing. This is women say funny things.
What?
Even when they're giving advice, you gotta let a man be a man. How the fuck you let a man be a man? I am. I think that one of the reasons I was interested in talking to you, because I watch what you do, and the thing about a woman is you pick your shots and you do it as good as I've seen anybody in a medium do it in a long time. Because you between two pretty strong personalities. But there isn't a week that goes by that I don't remember something you said.
Right.
And I'm not inclined to listen to women. I'm just not. Like, I don't watch their movies. I'm not being disrespectful. You have to be very interesting on a level I understand,
right, or
am interested in. But I always hear something you say, and it's because you come across as human. And you know how bright you got to be as bright as the day. That's a pretty amazing thing. And so that's what interested to me. And then I got the little high Latin chick over here. This shit, and bourbon, this shit is nice. And a side baby.
And a side baby.
And a side baby.
Side-eye baby.
I wish I'd have got to know my side baby.
Now, what do you think about somebody like Cardi B, since we're talking about women? And, you know, she recently said that she feels like she wants to be more PG-13 than rated R because she sees a lot of girls dressed up as her for Halloween and are looking up to her. Do you think that Cardi B is a good
It's not my
example?
thing, but I can't judge it. I mean, everybody, all I hear is bloody shoes. And I mean, I think people, I think you have to give somebody credit for managing to be heard through all this clutter. And I think it's kind of like wanting to be married after you already had some kids. You know what I mean? You've already become, a star, and then you want a level of responsibility, and that's not bad either.
Right.
I think that most people who accidentally make something happen, it's better to feel a sense of responsibility than to not.
Because some people would say, don't change who you are, just continue to be unfiltered and uncensored. But, she probably didn't know that she was going to end up being...
Yeah, it's a surprise. And I think that it's human for somebody to realize that people are listening to them and to feel a sense of responsibility. And to me, that resonates more to me than fucking... who I want, I know where I'm at, who I be. I'll never, but I relate to her as an artist. Some of the greatest things that ever happened were accidents. Fucking champagne, penicillin, America, all accidents. So, and they turned out pretty good. So I think
people too.
Yeah. So I think it's dope that she all of a sudden is looking at people around her and seeing kids dressing like her and seeing something and not wanting to just take the money and run.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Being that your daughter works with you, right?
Yes.
What do you tell her about being in a relationship? Like, should she expect that a man cheats? And would you say, okay, give him another chance, or would you be angry?
My daughter says something to me that kind of hurt me and made me, both my daughters, one works for me and one just takes money from me. But
that's both working.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want a man who loves me like I know you love my mother, but to not be you. Because
That's a gift and a curse.
I'm a selfish dude. I feel entitled to do shit, and it's you can see it in your daughter. One time, my daughter said on the radio, "It's like if you found out that Superman wasn't what he said he was."
Where does this sense of entitlement come from?
I think the way you grow up. It wasn't never success. It was like I always thought that I had just like all of you. I had to fight to be like I was talking to you earlier. You had to fight to be heard. You had to fight to count. You had to like in a family, in a situation.
I fight every day to be heard on
right. And so when you live your life fighting, what does the victor get? The spoils, right? If you win the war, you get the shit that you was fighting for. So that gives you a sense of entitlement. I never felt guilty about what I did, and I think that's an abusive stance to take. Like I'm aware of what I do, and have been. I just haven't always taken the measure of it.
Have you ever done therapy?
No, I drink. What the fuck you talking about?
Therapy and
What's your sign?
Pisces.
I knew it. I swear to God. You talk just like my ex-boyfriend, and he's a Pisces, and a lot of y'all views are very, very, very
like what?
similar. Like
fishy.
Fishy. Put on punch.
No, like what you said about it's not the fact that what you're doing, your actions and cheating, that bothers him. That don't bother him. It's the hurt that he's caused. Like, and he said that to me before. Like, like me seeing like what I did to you, it made me see like, damn, I'm really fucked up for doing that to you. But he don't think what he did was fucked up ever. Yeah,
you ever feel like you could be in love, person? Like ever fall in love with somebody else?
I don't think that you can. I don't think that love is love is not a limited option. I mean, you have amazing capacity for love. I think that it would be difficult for me to feel the way I do about. I was very lucky in a couple of ways. She's known me since I was 18 years old, so she knows the totality of me. So anybody meeting me now is in midstream.
Right.
It's easy to dig me now.
Right.
But when I was scared or when I was weak or when
you had a regular 9 to 5.
9 to 5. But so every relationship I have had, whether business or personal or sexual, is about what's this all about? And
you always have that in the back of your like, okay, you know who I am.
I am so glad that people give me some. I be like, fuck it, I don't care how it happens. I don't like, some dudes be like, yeah. No woman is with a man. Like, it's so funny because a lot of women aren't with men they want to be with. They with the dude they settle for.
It's called settling down.
Yeah, it's like,
settle down.
I really want to be with James.
Settle down now.
That's right. So I don't feel bad. I'm like, fuck it. My old lady could have did better. She got me. She's like, I could have been with, well, you with me. So fuck it. I don't care being a consolation
Damn, did she
prize.
name names for real? I could have been with.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do that. Certain shit you ain't gonna do now. Watch your conduct. Yeah, I think that you can't. The best thing you can ever do for another human being is to not necessarily tell them what you do, but to tell them who you are. And you can tell them in all kinds of ways. By being consistently who you are, by standing to a set of standards you believe in. Like, I've been it's so funny to me because I have done such horrible things as a young man and such fearful and weak things as a young man. It's why I think I see the world the way I do now. I just think that I don't want to live my life being afraid to lose something after all I've been through. I believe that I'm supposed to say what I believe and let the chips fall where they may.
Wow. I mean, so do you lie? Like, if you get caught doing something?
By the police, yeah, to the police. No.
But I mean, like, if it's like, oh, was you with this bitch? No.
I will say this. I will make sure that you want to hear what I have to say before I say it.
Oh, wow. So basically, like, you really want to hear this shit? Because I'll tell you.
You're right. Now,
it's going to hurt your feelings.
You know, it's Christmas.
The truth.
It's Christmas. You got to give people, you go on a roller coaster and they always go, here's your last chance to get off this road. I try to do that.
Oh, shit.
Support for today's episode of Lip Service comes from tripping.com. Did you know the average family visits 5 websites before booking a vacation rental?
Oh, my God.
I know, it's a lot of time, but you can spend less time planning your next trip and more time relaxing when you use. We be traveling all over the place. And tripping.com is the world's #1 site for vacation rentals. So if you're looking for a cabin to get away for New Year's Eve, which we are,
yes,
planning your next beach vacation in Hawaii, I wish, or that vacation in Europe where you live like a local, tripping.com helps you find the perfect place to stay. Vacation rentals offer flexibility, perks, and amenities that hotels don't, like multiple bedrooms, backyards, hot tubs, free Wi-Fi, and even fully stocked kitchens because we greedy. So you can have a quick bite on the go or plan and cook your own meals. Now, it's great for families and large groups. With tripping.com, one search lets you filter, compare, and sort over 10 million available properties on trusted sites like VRBO, TripAdvisor, Booking.com, and more.
Did you say 10 million?
Yes.
Wow.
Can you count to 10 million right now?
I don't think so.
Don't wonder if you're getting the best deal. You'll save an average of 18% per night by booking your vacation with tripping.com.
Perfect.
So don't forget, if you want to save time and money while booking the perfect vacation rental for your next trip, head to tripping.com/Angela. That's TRIPPING.com/Angela. All right, now I want to switch gears a little bit. I was telling the girls, I watched the show, right? My 600 Pound Life. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
With the people that are like,
I have
600 pounds and over. Yeah. And I want to ask you, have you ever given up on trying to help somebody that needs help? I was watching the show, right? The woman is 661 pounds. Her sister was being so mean to her, and I felt kind of bad for her because she was like, oh, I need to go to this doctor in Houston, and I need you to drive me. I really want to get better. I found this doctor. And she's like, no. And then she's like, I'll go with you, but I'm not driving. It's too far. We got to get on the plane. And you know how hard it is for somebody 660 pounds.
2 tickets, 3 tickets, yeah.
She had to buy the whole row.
Yeah.
3 seats. Yeah. And not even just that, but like it was hard for her to even get outside the house, get in the car, get to the airport, get on the plane. She was embarrassed. It was humiliating. Then when she got to the hotel, she went to the bathroom and there was blood all in her urine. So something must have happened, like, while she was traveling, they had to take her to the hospital. Well, anyway, I'm obsessed with the show. But
clearly,
I kind of felt like her sister was being really rude and nasty to her. Like, I'm going to take you there and then I'm going to leave you. I'm not saying, I done heard you say this before. And I was wondering, because, you know, she could die. Yeah. If her family, if she doesn't have somebody help her or whatever. Have you ever had to give up on somebody because you just felt like they're just not going to ever?
I think I've given up. Like, I have a cousin who's my, he is the most charming crackhead I've ever. Like,
he's Gator.
He really is. And I want to believe. So I can say that I've said to him, there are things I won't do for you, but I'll never let you just die. Like, I'm not going to, I think that it would be the height of hypocrisy for me to give up on somebody when people didn't give up on me.
Right.
But I can't let you just keep making me look weak.
Right.
Like, he would just do things. Like, he would take my daughter's, PS2 and sell it. And it just all kind of shit that made me look so fucking dumb. So I said, I'll sneaky, but I don't want to give up on him to the extent that he don't believe anybody's in this corner. So I can say there are things I won't be available for, but I'll never just say.
If he's like, I want to go get help, I found a doctor, you're there.
If he can fool me enough to believe how he believes it. Like, there's some people who harden their heart so much, they go, you lied to me so many times, and now you're going to pay for this. I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. As a human being, your right is to take chances with people you love. And if your responsibility is to take, what a coward you are. And like I said, I spent enough of my life being weak and small that I don't want to do that again. So I'd rather err on the side of doing something that maybe make me look foolish than not being there for a human being.
Right.
I like that point you just you started to make, and then you kind of cut yourself off. But when you was like, what a coward you are for like not giving a person another chance. Is that basically what you was gonna say?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, giving them another chance because they've done something before or whatever the case.
When you have done things in your life that you feel cowardly about, you spend every other moment trying to make sure that you don't feel that way again.
Right.
That's an unrelenting thing.
And we all have done cowardly things. Like, let's keep it real. Everybody in here.
Yeah, but most people don't admit it.
I'm one of those people who don't admit it.
Yeah.
I've never done anything cowardly in my life.
Now, none of us in here have ever been married. We haven't, right?
I've been engaged.
You were engaged, okay.
And I was in a relationship for 7.5 years, right? I don't know how I remember either. I agree.
But so I always think that when people get married, they stop having sex after a while and they go for long periods. I don't know why I think that. Maybe because I know too many
I was
people.
in a relationship. I was in a living relationship for 7.5 years, and even through all our problems, the only time we didn't have sex was that 35 days after I gave birth to my son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we would be mad at each other, and I'd be like we wouldn't be talking. Well, yeah, we waited 35 days.
What's the point of having a Latin woman if you can't have sex right after the baby?
She just had a baby.
Right. What did you tell? Girl, the stitches to be all right. You better come in.
Like, I was really young, and we were like rabbits. Like, we wanted to have mad sex. Like, I went into labor from having sex. Like, we were having sex a lot.
So dope.
Yes, and even though, like I was saying,
the baby
like,
was trying to come out. Like,
through
come
the
on,
7.5.
There's something in the way. Somebody's closed the door.
He had a dent on his
He come in. What's that knot on your head, son? Shut up.
I'm serious. We went into that, like, that morning. I could tell you when I went into labor that morning, they say you start nesting. So I woke up and I started like washing dishes at like, it was 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep. And he woke up at like 5:30 for work. And I was like, all right, let's have sex before you go to work. And we had sex. And that's when I was like, okay, I got a contraction. And he was like, all right, I'm going to call them. I'm not going to go in. And he drove me to the hospital.
That's better than a Hallmark car.
No, I swear. But anyway, through the 7.5 years, like, we would have nasty arguments, nasty fights.
I think you say sex.
We wouldn't. We wouldn't even be talking, but we would still like manage to have sex like 5 times in the week, every single week.
That's why I want me to laugh.
Like, we wouldn't. Like we literally would not be talking. We'll be going about our business. I'll do my day. He'll do his day. We'll meet each other in the house, and I'll be like, all right, you ready? And we'll just go out. I'll turn around. We'll have sex. We'll talk during sex.
Around?
Yeah. I'll turn around.
You are the best. You may be the best human being on the face of the earth.
I'm serious.
I'm serious too.
No, and then we'll finish, and I was like, all right, get me the rag, and we'll go right back to not talking.
The rag.
That's the last words we'll say to each other.
Do
Get
you
me
tell
the
each
rag.
other you love each other during sex and everything still?
Sometimes, but it would be like argument sex.
Fuck you, bitch.
It'll be like, it'll be like things like that.
Stephanie likes getting,
I like being abused. I like abused.
For every.
That's not true.
That's Puerto
every
Rican.
woman likes to get choked a little bit.
I think a lot of women. I think every woman does. Not every, but
a little bit. It depends how.
That's enough, Cecil.
When you can't breathe, I think that's too far.
You said a smack in the face.
Yeah.
I don't really want to get smacked in the face.
I like a slap.
No, I don't play
smack in the. I said hair pull, smack in the face.
I like it. I like all of that.
A hair pull is fine.
I like a hair pull,
but not a smack in the face.
But the thing about that shit is you can't ask. You gotta just do it, and sometimes it goes too far. That's how you know.
And smacking the face is appropriate when it's that right time. Like this, it's only a right time when you can get away with it. Smacking somebody.
I think that might just ruin my whole mood.
Yeah, I was fucking with somebody over there.
Just hit me.
He was choking a little too hard. I'm telling you,
serious?
I was dealing with somebody and he like choked me a little too hard. I was like, nah, this motherfucker might kill me one day. Like I really thought that. I was like, I gotta stop. I was like, I gotta stop fucking with him because I'm about to die. Like, because I had never even been choked before.
Right.
So he did.
But you liked it at first.
The first time it was cool, but the second time, I guess he was like, let me put a little more pressure because she liked it.
She liked it last time. Let me go a little
harder.
harder.
I'm turning blue and shit. Like, no.
You were turning blue?
I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't breathe. Like, I was like, nah, he's
that's not fun.
because he like started to come. He was coming, so he got excited.
He got strong.
He almost killed you.
You like nigga come fast, or otherwise somebody go in the hospital.
I'm telling you, he would have been in jail for
what a way to die.
Yeah.
Man,
And he wasn't even trying to murder you.
He wasn't. He just was coming. He was trying to kill the pussy.
He probably would have got off for that.
No, not. Was he black?
Talk about a crime of passion.
He would have got off for that.
Was he black?
Yeah, he was
Nah,
black.
he wasn't gonna get off. A nigga can kill somebody with an alibi. He still ain't getting off. They had a dude in New Jersey that killed shot a dude that was breaking into his house to kill his son. Some mob mentality type shit. And he didn't get off.
I feel like because people do get off for the rough sex thing.
Gucci man got off. Then he should. They came running in the crib for him. He killed somebody.
What's the safe word? Stop, motherfucker. I can't tell you this cat's name. I can't tell you. This cat he's a famous comic, so I can't tell you his name. So we playing this gig one time, right? And,
is he a king of comedy?
I'm not gonna. No, he wasn't a king of comedy.
Is he on your show, your current show?
And we in the Bay Area, right? And so I get this knock on my door, and this cat comes. He said, "Man, come to my room."
Oh no!
And I go, "What's up?" He goes, "Something's wrong." So he had this chick. She's tied up to the bed and she's naked and she's unconscious.
Oh my God. And
I said, "Man, what happened?" He said he had this cat of nine tails, which is that whip. And they had always whipped, like he whipped her, and all of a sudden she told him it was hurting and he couldn't stop. He said, I couldn't stop.
Why? He whipped her unconscious.
What? So then I said, hey man, I'm not in this shit. I'm not touching nobody. And she woke up. She said, hey, DL, can I have some water? And I went, oh, nigga, she all right.
Thank God.
That was the funniest
What
shit.
were you supposed to do?
Like, man, I'm not in it.
He was like, here, hold this whip.
You an accessory
I'm not in it.
in case the shit didn't work out.
Help me hide the body.
If she wouldn't have woke up and I went right to the front desk, that nigga killed somebody.
He killed it. They say he did that shit.
No, but let's
say
keep it real. Let's just say she didn't wake up. Then what do you
I'd
do?
have told.
No, you wouldn't.
I swear to God, I'd have told. You can't be killing motherfuckers. I'm not doing it.
Y'all wouldn't tell on me, would you?
Nah, I would help you hide the body.
Yeah, see, they would help me.
Shit.
What kind of friend are you?
I love my kids.
You bugging out. I'm leaving. I'm not telling, but I'm not helping either.
If my kids did some dirt, like I love them, but if they did something that spread out harm to humanity on some just old evil humbug shit, nah.
But that was an accident.
No, you wouldn't. You would help.
He didn't mean to kill her.
Look at his face.
I mean, she's not dead, but
I might have my daughters, but my son, I tell on him.
If my son murders somebody, I'm gonna send him to jail. How could you do that? I raised you better than that. What are you doing murdering people?
Yeah.
Now you gotta go to jail. If he kills somebody, no.
But what kind of kill? Like if he kills somebody?
I mean, if it was a justifiable kill, I would help. But if he's being
she said I'd help. Like I don't like that nigga.
But if he was being an animal about things, you know, like I'm gonna call the police on him. Like you gotta go, you do
like
the crime, you do the time.
You wouldn't tell on him. I'm sorry.
You can't. That
was an accident.
But I'll just say this. I've watched. I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I grew up on 135th and Avalon. It's a school, Avalon Garden. So I'm a little kid, right? Okay. Not a kid, but 10, 12, maybe 12, 14. These kids, they go, we got this chick. We running a train on her, right? Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, wow. I've always heard about this.
Were you a virgin?
I wasn't a virgin. And so...
I hope this wasn't 10.
No, I was 12.
He said 12.
Okay, I'll just make
That's still young.
Yeah, it is.
So I go and I see this girl and they are doing shit to her and I'm like, I don't think she's not
with it.
She's not with it. And I said, she's not. And I remember, so I say, I don't, and these dudes are older than me and I like love them and I've always been impressed by them. But at that moment, I thought that they were, like it was it's one of the first times I saw men who I loved and respected seem small to me. Like they were, I was like, she's a girl and you, and so I remember getting her clothes and I said, she's not with it. And they're older than me. Right. And I'm not even scared because I'm like, even if something go left,
you did what you knew you had to do the right thing. Right. That was your instinct.
Mm-hmm. So we put on her clothes and she smelled like pennies and she smelled like this real weird smell that I would later on know that smells like blood, because it smelled like copper. Mm-hmm. So I get her clothes, we walk, and they hit me in the head and pushing me and calling me a buster, and I was weak. And I never, so I walk her to her neighborhood, and it was like 5 or maybe 8 blocks away. When we get to close to her neighborhood, she screams and runs toward her brother.
And it looked like you
outside. Did it. And this motherfucker picks up a butcher knife. And she is so hysterical, she can't tell him. So he's chasing me around the car.
And he's thinking it's you.
And he catches me, and he goes, he said, she said, it wasn't him. And he said, I know this nigga know who did it. And I said, I can't tell you who did it. He said, if you don't tell me who did it, I'm going to cut you. I said, but they'll kill me. He said, I swear to God, you got 3, I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to tell me who. And I closed my eyes and waited for him to cut me. And so he didn't. And so while I'm walking away, he hit it like both the motherfuckers. The dudes in my neighborhood was hitting me, and he was hitting me.
Damn.
So I'm getting my ass whipped for, and I ain't done shit wrong. So weeks later, at this joint called Smitty's Liquor Store on 135th and Avalon, I see this dude, and he says, "Thank you." But I always knew, like, to me, even though I wanted to be like, I didn't think that it was right to do shit to people that you knew you could. And even though I did like the thing with my son, or I've done things that made me feel weak, I always thought that, I always knew the greatest thing I've ever done to me is that now I know I'm a human being.
Right.
Like I don't think so I think that you're supposed to go all out for people you love. I think you're supposed to try. I think you're supposed to treat everybody with a level of certain respect and decency. And I think if it costs you skin, that's the price you pay for being a human being.
When did you know you was going to be a comedian?
Nah, I never thought about that. I always knew I was real dumb. So chicks would always laugh at me. And so dudes that can either hustle or be sport or play sports or make chicks laugh. That's how you got ass.
That's true.
When I was a kid, that was what my career choice was. I wanted to be a comedian, and I wanted to be like a voiceover person, like, hello and welcome to Movie Phone.
Well, shit, that's the best shit ever.
I swear, that's what I wanted to be.
Who is she? I want her. You are the dopest chick ever.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired today. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you ain't on energy.
See what that's like.
I told you about that. Didn't we have a conversation about that?
What? I switched because first of all, you're not even drinking your bourbon.
Yeah,
that
look,
we got
I switched too. I ain't gonna lie, that bourbon.
I got back to it. I drank the whole.
There go my
bourbon,
side
though.
baby. She's still with me.
My
Side baby's still here.
Side babies.
But let's keep it real.
Side babies are like rescue dogs. They happy. You ever get you a rescue dog and them dogs?
Got a rescue dog.
Rescue dogs be like, I don't care what this nigga do.
She has a rescue dog.
Maggie is a rescue
Of course, you a side baby. You supposed to have a rescue dog.
She do got a rescue dog.
Of course. Rescue dogs is the shit. They know they was this close to going out. Nigga.
Listen, I always say she been through the system. Like, listen, she been through the system, so
She ain't
just
gonna
don't mind her.
snitch.
She been through the system.
She don't bark.
She loyal. She love me to
She's
death.
very loyal.
You know why? She knows she like, we the same. Y'all be doing that shit on the color purple. You and I must never.
Y'all sick.
All right, so listen, we appreciate you for coming through. We
Thank
had a
you,
really
baby.
big. Listen, this is a big deal. D.L. Hughley was here, one of our biggest guests ever, and you told some great stories. I was like, what are we going to talk to him about? You know, I didn't know.
I'm glad y'all didn't do no chicken. And you the fucking
What?
dopest shit ever.
Oh, thank you so much.
Next time you get drunk, call me, goddammit.
Oh man,
She's gonna be naked and throwing shit.
I'm a mess when I'm drunk. I told you I can't drink no
Offer her
more.
another, try.
Yeah, she might drink
I'm fine,
She's
man.
like, no, I
have a
can't
little
do it.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
No,
but-
thank you.
See, I don't want to be one of them dudes.
No,
that
but
come-
that's
right.
another thing. I have
That's a
a
little
drinking
creepy.
problem. I can't just have a shot.
can't have a little-
Once I
little
drink,
sip.
I gotta
Keep
drink
going.
the whole bottle.
I fucking love you.
Like, I'm serious.
He's the best ever.
It's true, right?
It's very
You know what I always wanted to ask you?
What?
How? Oh no, DL. How long has your name been
She
DL?
said what?
Because then the term DL came about, and I felt like that had to suck.
Yeah. Actually, really.
Actually,
They're like, this nigga do it so much he named after it. That was a rough. Like the first time I ever. Like when I grew up, it was DL was baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was that in baseball?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
DL is
Digger?
disabled list.
It was what?
Disabled list. Sports disabled list. You
Okay.
can't be.
Oh, the
you can't
disabled
perform.
list.
Yeah.
So your nickname was disabled?
Well, my name is Daryl Lynn, but
This is getting worse.
he sucked so much dick, he just made him disabled. Who does that? Yeah, and then
There's no way around this.
and then there was like, then it became download. I guess some dude wrote a book,
On the download.
and everybody
Ronald
was reading it and
Isley.
shit, and I was like,
I read
I'm
that book.
stuck with the name.
Because I always felt like I don't want to just call you DL.
And
gotta
I'm
say
out
the
there
whole
deep,
name.
nigga. I'm the fucking poster child. And I remember somebody say down low. I'm like, what? But that nigga do it so much he got the initial. Like Betty Ford, they named the clinic after her.
I just laughed because I thought about it like down low.
Wait, you didn't know that's what we was talking about this whole time?
No, I did, but I just thought about it and it made me
You
laugh.
are fucking hilarious. Where do they make you at? I like her.
In Puerto Rico, yeah.
There's just certain names that suck. Like if you're a white girl named Becky, and then the
Right.
song Becky came out, or like when Erykah Badu put out Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Right.
Stephanie went through it with the
Stephanie Heffany.
Yeah, she used to
call
get
that
so mad.
Thank God that's over. Thank God that's
It's
over.
so
yes.
yeah. It's like,
Thank God that's over.
and some dude said it to me in fucking Memphis or something.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
I was like, he's like,
Did anybody ever try
like,
you because of that? Like, a dude ever-
We know you on the
But you know what's the funny thing about it is, I've never. This is probably horrible, but nobody has ever. Like gay dudes don't come on me, white will come on to me.
Does that
white
offend
women-
you? Like, I'm
Yeah, I'm
cute.
like, hey man, I'm attractive.
Right.
When I was a young dude, this dude, I was a little boy. He was a cat. I can't say his name because y'all run this shit just to be. But he was a Boy Scout leader, and he used to have all little boys over his house. And he was knocking them off, but he never did it to me. So the little boys leave the house crying and with candy in their hands.
Damn.
They'd be like, "You want some candy?" I'm like, "Nah, not that bad." And I was like, years later, I went,
Like, but
"No
your
one,
name is DL. Get
Yeah.
in there.
no one's ever tried to fondle me.
Wow.
I've never been
And we hear all
fondled.
these Harvey Weinstein stories. You had your own show.
None of that
You've
shit.
never been on a casting couch.
Never.
Oh.
Harvey Weinstein fucked everybody except Siri, didn't he?
Everybody except Siri.
Oh my god.
And now you hear about Kevin Spacey. You hear about all these people.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn.
Nobody ever did. All them people getting my father, nobody touched me inappropriately.
Listen, Corey Feldman's doing a whole documentary about this whole ring in Hollywood of pedophiles, that... And I'm sure you had to hear stories about it, though, even before all this.
I know, but I was so forlorn because nobody touched me.
And that shit ain't happening at like BET and stuff. You
BET ain't got enough money to be pedophiles.
BET ain't got enough money to be pedophiles.
Ain't nobody gonna let you. Look, if you.
But you did.
If you let me touch you, you could be on Comic View. That ain't working.
No.
But
you could be Miss Cleo's sidekick now.
No thanks. But you did know about Bill Cosby,
I did. I had an argument with Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I remember you said that we never will get to hear it.
Yeah, you never will get to hear it. Because, we were at, what was that? It was
Radio
Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
It was Kiss here, and I was hosting a radio show, and me, Jackie Reed, cat named Steve Wilson, were hosting the show. Bill Cosby calls in to do his interview. Mm-hmm. And he's a dick, being obnoxious. I know he don't like me, so I go, I'll let them do the radio.
Why he didn't like you? Just
because
he didn't
I
like
did
you
Def
using foul
Jam.
language?
He didn't. Yeah, we did Def Jam, and it was some old. He just philosophically didn't agree with the way I did comedy. So he's doing this interview with Jackie and Steve, and he's being such a dick. After 10 minutes, I go, hey, Mr. Cosby, what is it you like us to know? And he goes, who is this? I go, DL Hughley, and you say nigga, and you do this. I said, with no offense, Mr. Cosby, I say nigga, but no chick has ever woke up with her drawers on backwards because I
touche.
Dude, you could have been my son. I said, I'm not your son. I said, I've never disrespected the way you do comedy. I said, but in terms of I'm a father. I've never, the shit I've never done, and you just shit on my life because you have a certain purview, but you've done things that are morally repugnant, or words like that. Mm-hmm. We go back and forth. He said get something about this interview ain't gonna happen. I'm like, the fuck it ain't. And 5 or 10 minutes later, the people from Emmis Communications came down and pulled it.
And they destroyed that. And
I'm like, so I knew what I've never done, what I've never understood, and I've admitted here that, and not just here, how cowardly and weak I've been at times in my life. But what I've never done is to take something from somebody. Mm-hmm. And I thought that this idea that because you are this or that, you should be able to extract a thing from somebody, like to take something from somebody, to why drug a woman when lies and bullshit work just as good?
Same drug,
right?
Almost.
Right, same effect.
It's the same.
It's like a
shit.
fetish, though. It seems like it's some type of like mental issue.
It's a power thing. I think.
It's something wrong with
it's
you.
It's a way of control.
It is. Mm-hmm. So people, I remember people got mad at me because I said it, but there's no discernible difference between Weinstein or Cosby or Spacey or Trump. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're privileged people. You can say that Bill Cosby was a black man, but he still did shit that black men, but he still did shit that white men do.
And people think that he didn't do anything because they say he never got convicted of anything.
OJ didn't get convicted of anything.
Listen, you snatched that off my tongue so fast.
OJ,
because I was about the same thing.
But we've all heard the Cosby stories. They used to call her Mr. Dope and Grope.
Yeah. But like growing up, like even when I had that argument with him, it was an article in I forgot what magazine, and it was on the 6th page. I remember Oprah stopped fucking with him because he did. So stop.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie. When I was little, my mom told me stories about Bill Cosby. She knew some lawyer or somebody that she said that he did that to her. She was like, if you ever are alone, don't ever be alone with Bill Cosby. My mom used to tell me that when I was mad young. First of all, why would I ever be in a room with Bill Cosby?
Well, I wasn't. He never tried to touch me.
Shit. Damn. Can somebody touch D.L. Hughley, please?
Please, thank you.
I told Stephanie to reach out.
Get to it, Latina.
Uh-oh, lawsuit.
Get to it, goddammit. I swear to God, I close the Bronx down, you'll start touching me, goddammit.
Wait, did she say she was from the Bronx? Or you just guessed that? Oh no, you're not really from. You from Manhattan,
Chelsea, but
You from how did you make it that far? What's wrong with you?
No, not Chelsea in the United Kingdom. Chelsea in New York City.
I know what it is.
United Kingdom.
You ain't from the Grand Concourse? What type of shit is this?
But actually, I am from the Grand
Thank
Concourse.
God.
There we go.
That's
That's what I said. He said that.
He got it to the block. He got it to the block. That's
I've had an
insane.
apartment here. I got swell.
No, but I grew up in Chelsea because my mom lived there, so that's where I went to school, and a lot of my friends were. But my grandmother lived on 198 in the Concourse.
Of course she did.
I didn't know that. Where's Gigi from?
Amen.
Where's she from? See, she's kind of.
Look at her smiling. She's trying to see if you can
guess
figure
this,
it
I'm
out.
gonna
I wonder
faint.
if he is.
Okay, wait. What's your
you gonna
last
take
name?
a shot?
My last name?
Yeah.
Her real last name.
Bolton.
Bolton. What
Michael.
are you? What are you?
I'm black.
Where's she
It's not
from?
Brooklyn. Queens? Where?
She's not from
I'm not from
New York.
New York.
Oh, what the fuck? I thought you was talking about.
Philly. She from Philly.
Oh, well, that's shit. You beautiful. How you from Philly?
Amber Rose.
It's you, Amber Rose, Vivian Green, and Jill Scott are the only beautiful women from
That's
Philly.
not true.
All them other
Thanks
bitches
for the
look like they've been in the fire.
compliment, but
Gigi gonna shout out some of your beautiful sisters in Philly.
There's a lot of beautiful people in
Where they
My girl
at?
Santi
They're
goes.
in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hills, Jersey.
That's what I'm gonna say. Or Bucks County. They're not. It's no beautiful women in Philly.
That's not. Don't do that.
You know it's true. Why you guys saying that? Have you ever seen beautiful women in Philly?
I have.
You was in the fucking mirror.
No, there's some beautiful women. My best friend's from Philly, and she's beautiful too.
To you?
No, she is. She really is. She really is.
My best friend is from Philly, and she's beautiful. She's Gigi.
Where do you get her at? I need to.
And you see, Meek Mill just got sentenced to 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Why?
Poor Meek.
Violating probation.
Who hasn't?
He just want to stand. He want to be T.I. so bad.
Stop.
Why you say T.I.?
Because T.I. was always in and out of
you
jail.
ever been to jail?
Until he got his life together.
Like for how
Meek
long?
in and out of jail.
The
Hopefully
longest
he
I
get his
did
life
was
together.
30 days.
What would you go to jail for 30 days?
Well, I went to jail in New York in 1996
For what?
because I had a gun at the.
What?
I didn't know it was illegal to have a gun.
Okay,
many
well,
days?
30.
30,
Oh, I
but
went
not.
to jail
I
for
didn't.
longer than that.
Well,
Oh.
shit.
Oh damn.
I went to jail, but in New York, the day that they announced that my show was getting picked up by ABC,
Wow.
And then you went to jail?
What?
I went to jail the night before.
You didn't lose your show, though, did you?
No, they still
The show
picked it
still
up.
went. Okay, that's good.
good.
Because you know they could have fronted on you.
Yeah, but that was before they had Twitter and shit. Like they
Yeah,
were
no
back
social
off.
media did.
So I got arrested, and I went to what y'all call that?
Central booking.
No, it's y'all have 24-hour court.
Oh yeah.
24-hour court. So I get arrested. I played a gig. I got arrested at JFK. I played a gig the night before. I got caught with a pistol at JFK. Go to court at 10 o'clock in the night. 10 o'clock at night. The judge says, Mr. Hughley went have to impose significant bail. And they said it's $10,000. And my business manager was there, and she said, "You're gonna have to give us $1,000. You can't go." I'm like, "Nigga, shit, give it to her. I'm out." And I go back to LA. Then I get Dave Becky, who's my manager, and Kevin Hart's manager. He's been my manager for all the time. He goes, "Nobody's ever gonna find out about it." ABC picks me up. I walk through the airport with my wife, and all on the TV, D.L. Hughley got arrested with a gun.
Damn.
It was horrible.
Well,
Who told?
but that wasn't.
Everybody told.
But to keep it real, that's not a bad one. It ain't like you.
Yeah, it ain't like you
just
did.
didn't know.
No,
Yeah, it ain't like you
no, because
committed
when
a
I
crime.
landed, and I had
There wasn't
and
no bodies on the gun.
and this cat named Murray Richmond, who represented DMX, said, "If you have 30 grand, you'll never go to jail." And I gave that motherfucker 30 grand. I did
you
not
went to
go
jail.
because it was a Class D felony.
He told DMX that too.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
25
All
times.
right. Yeah, but I didn't entertain
25
it.
times.
Yeah. Murray Richmond, and that motherfucker came to court with essential booking. What y'all have? Central
Yeah,
Booking?
Central Booking.
Yeah. That
You know,
motherfucker-
we know.
I had never heard no shit like that. They put me in jail, right? And they made me take my tennis shoes off, my strings off my tennis shoes, and the cops left my door open. They're like, "This is the cell Anthony Mason for the Knicks was in," and they left my cell open, and so. I bought the guards dinner and lunch and shit, so they would keep. I'm not going in a regular cell,
Right.
Because like in LA, if you go to jail in LA, they have high power, which means like people
VIP cell.
Yeah, it's like
Wait, so they got VIP jail?
well, they got like Sean Penn was right next to the Night Stalker when he was in joint.
That's crazy.
They don't have you. They don't have. So I said, y'all ain't got no cell. They're like,
Where's my cell?
You with everybody. And so then, so I buy the fucking people lunch, and they kept the door open. I was on the phone. My lawyer comes. He
So
takes
you
me
wasn't
out.
really in jail. You was in.
No, I'm talking about here, but I went to jail in L.A. for 30 days when I got kicked out of high school and got cut with a gun charge. And my mother wouldn't let me out. She's like, I'm gonna let you see how this work out.
For 30 days. So
This is
30
horrible.
days. Did you masturbate?
That's not.
You know, I
that
didn't start masturbating till I was 32 or something.
What? You was a late masturbator.
Why? Aren't you supposed to masturbate more when you're younger?
Yeah, but I always got ass.
Oh yeah, because you was fucking since 10.
Yeah, I was like,
And he was funny.
I had this girl
He was
named,
making all the girls laugh.
her name was, I ain't gonna say her name because she lived on the street, but she had a small
She
ponytail.
still live up the street from you?
She had a small ponytail.
She had a little ponytail and a big jaw. She looked like kind of like a
big
gorilla,
jaw.
but she was so.
That jaw.
Oh, I
That's
was
what
like,
attracted
you are
you to.
wonderful.
So what made you start
Wonderful.
masturbating?
One time they had this thing called the Spice Channel.
Oh, I remember the Spice
Yeah, when it's
Channel.
free. And
Remember when you used to
I don't
flip
know
the
what
channels
that is.
and then we would catch a little glimpse?
Yeah, no, I used to steal cable, so you got it all for free. And I caught it one time when my wife was mad at me for getting busted for doing some bullshit.
So
I was
you like,
like,
I'm just masturbate.
I didn't even think about it. All of a sudden, I'm so lazy and masturbating. I'll fall asleep with my hand on my dick. I'll be like, that's when you know. That's when you know you're lazy. You laugh.
I'm too lazy to bust this
No,
nut.
seriously,
You're
that's
supposed to
me
bust a
too.
nut and then
That's
fall
how I
asleep.
asleep
You're
masturbating.
so fucking wonderful.
No, I
swear to God.
Like I'm too lazy to get to the end.
I can't talk dirty to me.
That's a good sleep when you masturbate and fall asleep.
Really?
The best, but sometimes.
That's when you know you lazy when
Smoke
you
a
can't even talk
blunt.
dirty to you. You're like,
You ain't even got
Hit that,
time for yourself.
and then go to sleep.
Because I feel like you know how to make yourself come really quick if you want to.
Yeah, really quick.
Yeah, like you know what to do for yourself, so you know how to just do it real quick. That's the whole point of it.
I'm just too romantic.
I'm gonna
Like, sometimes I do it with my other hand, so I think it's somebody else.
It's a stranger. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
This is not me.
Under your legs.
So horrible.
I think it's a longer process with a guy than it is for a girl.
Really?
Yeah, I do think that. Because if I ever like done it or seen somebody do it, whatever the case, like I can make myself come faster than.
Girls masturbating is sexy. Guys masturbating looks like animals.
Yeah. It does.
I like how.
Oh my eye!
Girls
like
masturbating
how-
is like
Gigi, you're not gonna back
guy
me up. I
masturbating
like
is
how it looks. A guy.
Wait, you like how a guy?
I do.
Side baby Gigi, don't be like that.
It looks good when it's like a nice looking penis.
Yeah,
and it's like
because a guy can't
big,
romantically
but
masturbate. It looks
guys
that's
have big
weird.
hands, so if they got a little dick and they masturbating and they look like
Right, that's true.
You gotta have a big, a
You
nice
guys are
size
fucking
dick.
wonderful. I gotta take y'all with me.
put it
Side
You need a guy
Gigi.
that masturbates with two hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
With
said, I
both
don't.
his hands.
I used to go to this joint here. I don't even know why I'm even having this conversation. But I used to stay at this place called the Royalton here, right? And it's on 44th. My favorite hotel before I got an apartment here. So I would go to the Royalton. And back then they had to bring you the porn came in a tape, so they had to give it to you, right?
No.
So you would call down and you would say, I want
Give us an example.
Black Roz Latin Bars 19.
Volume 10.
Volume 10.
Volume 10.
So they would bring it up, and then they would ask you, "Do you want something else?" No, bitch, I don't. I'm good. You want popcorn? And that's the same.
Now they probably went to help
And
you.
they would bring it to you.
Popcorn.
It was hilarious.
This is the popcorn.
They're like, you need anything
you
else?
need-
You ever
Would you
make
like
it to the
it?
end of
Right,
the
you need
tape?
an extra hand.
You ever try to
need
hold?
anything
You ever try to hold out while you watching porn? Like I don't want to come just yet. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
hold
yeah.
out.
I have.
Yeah, I definitely have.
Yeah.
Or you got
That's
that one part of their favorite porn that
Yeah, one part.
you gotta wait.
Do you listen? Do you watch porn with volume or no volume?
Mute.
Yeah, of course.
What?
You are,
I
you
don't.
are
watch
truly
porn on
my
mute.
side baby. Side baby Gigi.
Why? I like the
I watch porn on
noise.
mute.
I like the noise.
Yeah.
I don't.
I want to
don't like
hear
that.
it.
I don't want to hear you bitches.
You like a? You care about the plot?
Nah, I don't think I care about the plot.
It's certain sounds I care about.
Yeah,
Like if we go,
Like, how did this shit get started?
Yeah.
Where this
Do you like it when
motherfucker
it's
came from?
consensual or non-consensual porn?
You using too much big words
I'm
to
just
me.
asking. You like it when a girl is like with it, or when she's like no,
and then they talk into it.
I like when she does when she's not with it. I like it.
Me too.
No, I like it when it's lesbian porn and the one girl not with it, but then the other girl talk her into it.
You're the fucking best. This is the best.
I like that too.
I don't look at the beginning.
That's when I like non-consensual.
To like a certain part. Yeah, I'm like, let me skip. Fuck all this talking shit. When are they gonna start fucking?
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
And what's really good is that now you could like look at it and you can see like
where you at with it. You're like, all right,
like scenes from The Walking Dead.
Right here. All right, let me start right here.
I never knew that about y'all.
That were perverts.
Like I always didn't think it was so destination specific.
with women.
Yeah, I didn't.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like men, like a man and a woman porn, like a
Yeah.
I watch everything.
Yeah. I like I like either two chicks, an old chick.
Old chick. That's the only thing I don't watch.
Why?
I like old chicks who are shocked at the thing. Oh my god!
Why?
This nigga knocked over my walker.
Damn! That old
lady porn. They call that century porn or something like that.
I thought he meant MILF.
It's called like century.
I don't like MILF. I like old chicks who.
No, it's called like century.
Who haven't seen Dick in
I'm
a
gonna
while.
tell you the
Like,
name. It's like centurion.
I cracked the rib.
No.
I do.
Dentures falling out on the dick.
I can't.
I don't want to see that.
I can't.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I dig those.
I think it's called Centurion porn. Let me look at this up.
Yeah, I'll watch any other porn except for.
Yes, it's called Centurion.
Yeah.
How do you know this though? Because you be watching it too.
No, I don't watch that. I just know a lot about porn because I've met a lot of porn stars in my life.
I live in the valley, so I've seen. Like
that's where they shoot
time,
all the porns.
I remember before.
Maybe
What's her name? The big chick, the real big chick.
BBWs?
No, she's big a long time ago.
Who?
The chick.
Which one?
Heather Hunter.
What does she look like?
She's a white chick. She's changed the game.
Oh, what was the other?
I think you know.
Janet.
Sarah J.
Yeah.
I knew. I got years ago. I got a copy of her first shit with the dude that did it for her. Like the first shit. I worked out at the gym with him, and he said, "Yeah, this is a little hot chick," and it was Jenna Jameson.
No,
when she was afraid of dick, like when she was
afraid. She couldn't take the dick in this first one.
And it was so. And then years later, now she just changed the game.
What? Does it ever throw you up when you're watching porn and it's like the dick is all in the screen and you're like watching it and then all of a sudden it should kind of fuck everything up? Like they focus on
bootleg. What do you?
You know how like you'll be watching like the porn and then all of a sudden it focus on like his balls and dick and you're like, come on, I was about to
I don't do that. What I don't like is when the dude is having too much fun. Like one thing about pornos, they really got good.
The guys be lame.
Why do guys always fuck with their boots or their sneakers?
I hate that shit.
Only black dudes.
I was watching porn the other day,
and
this nigga was on the massage table, butt booty hole naked with some boots on.
Yeah,
some boots.
Timberlands. Always and a watch.
Always Tim
and a watch.
It's always a watch.
A big
and
face.
So wait, this is what you like?
No, not that.
Wait, show us. Nah.
I don't want.
Sorry,
no, that's all right.
I'm sorry, I got
Side baby, keep.
You didn't make me kick over the damn drink. I don't want to see that.
You knocked Gigi on the seat.
No, I'm fine.
That looked like the red dude from Braveheart. I don't like that.
Take her dentures out before she started sucking that dick like that.
You say you like old women.
No, I don't like. He's older than.
What age is old? Like when we say old.
guy,
I like old.
He's getting his dick sucked, but he looks disgusted.
Oh, he's that. And have you ever had sex with an old lady? Like,
yeah, my wife. Were you crazy?
No, I mean, like when you were younger.
Yeah.
For real?
When I was 13.
Oh no.
Well, he said my wife.
It was a great name. Her name was Michonne, right? So I'm 13 years old, and she used to always come to the neighbor. She had a little what they call it, Toyota. I don't even remember what it was.
What do you broke people call it, Toyota?
Remember Datsun B210? She had one of those, and she had a shirt with her name on it and said Michonne. So I was like 12 or 13, and I had knocked off the ugly chick named Shona. So I thought, I know what I'm doing. So I would always talk to her, and I'd always say, "Girl, I'd tear that ass." But I was 13 or 12.
I'll tear that ass up.
Or 10.
So she said, "No, you won't." and she would always say shit. So one day she said, I said I would do it, and Angela, she said, well, get in the car. So I go to the car. She had this shitty ass apartment. So we go to the apartment. I'm thinking I've been with this broad in my neighborhood. I know what I'm doing, and she's like 23 or 24.
Molestation.
I'm 13. It wasn't.
Oh my God!
It is.
It wasn't.
What?
So I go and we go in a room. And she was rough, and I was like, "This is. I don't want you to be like this." She's like,
what you mean by rough?
She was like, she would do it hard. Like
she was trying to get fucked.
She would say, "Yeah," and I was like, "I don't know what this is." And she would make shit like she would make shit with onions and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't like this. She's like, shut up, take it. And she would smoke in the bed, and she would always come get me. She would always, like in the neighborhood, she would come get me. And everybody thought I was so cool because I had this older chick who had her name.
She's disgusting for that, by the way.
She's not disgusting. She was a wonderful woman.
That's disgusting.
And she would like she would buy me games, but I could only play them there. She would buy me clothes I was gonna buy there. And one time she gave me head and I didn't know what that was. I'm 13 and it was hard. I was like, that's rough. She said, shut up. You don't ever say that when somebody's sucking your dick.
Oh my God.
And it was like a rough. Like, I remember when she would pull up.
You're like abused.
And the dudes would be like, oh, nigga, you going to get that? I'm like, yeah. And I'd be like, ugh.
I thought you said nobody touched you. You was getting raped all that time.
That wasn't rape.
Yes, it was.
That's not at all.
That's
rape.
You didn't even enjoy it. You didn't even enjoy it.
You just said you was crying.
I did. I just didn't like her. No, I didn't want to be with her. I thought I had to marry her. I liked how.
You thought you had to marry her because y'all was having sex?
I'm 13. So one time she pulls up. And she honks her horn, and I go out and call my mother's outside watering the grass.
Your mother
and she said, "Who is this? Who's
this old bitch?
Who's this bitch right here?" She said, "Who are you?" She said, "Oh, my name is Sean." And she said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, he's my friend." She said, what? "How old are you?" She said, 23. You know he's 13. Bitch, if you ever come around here, I'll kill you.
That's damn right.
So take your ass in the house. And I remember walking to the back, and my back was to them and going, "Thank you." Because I never wanted to.
That is taking advantage of you.
No, I liked it, but I didn't want her to be mean.
But let's keep it real. If your son, if that happened to him, you would be fucking horrified.
My son has Asperger's syndrome, so I want him to get all the pussy he can have.
No, stop it.
My son
don't.
My son hires hookers. I don't even care.
No, he doesn't.
He's 28, but he's retarded, so it's
stop it.
It's true. Why do you ask?
I know he's autistic, but I'm saying, listen, you still don't want that at 13 years old. You wouldn't have wanted that.
You don't want anybody to rape him.
Come on now.
Why do you say dumb shit like that?
It is. That's statutory.
But as a man, he want his son to
rape.
get some pussy.
You was crying going to the damn
only because she didn't slow down.
That is not why. You were traumatized and you won't admit it. DL.
You need to go to therapy. Remember
I wasn't traumatized at all.
Can we get a therapist? Can we get him on?
I wasn't traumatized. I just didn't want her. I just wanted her to say, like, she would say, "Pull my hair." I'm like, "Why? You're a person."
Your mom
got in your
you.
mind so much.
But I did not like it. I just didn't want her.
No, you won't admit that you didn't like it because you feel like you're supposed to like it.
No,
I
know what I like.
You didn't like it. You didn't like it.
I did like it. I just didn't like her cooking shit with onions or smoking in the bed. Or like saying mean shit to me. Like when she said, "Take this pussy," I'm like, "How? Where does it go?"
I don't even know where your pussy is.
And you have to admit, something had to be wrong with her to do that with a 13-year-old.
I don't think that was wrong with her.
23.
I would never look at a 13-year-old in my life.
There's
except
a
if I
few
was
teachers
13.
out there that's in jail for that right now, you know.
Yeah, but they weren't her. She was beautiful. And she was a sweet girl.
She was
But
sick.
her dude was like her dude had been mean to her. So
What if your daughter's brought home a 13-year-old? How about that?
If my daughter's brought home a 13-year-old?
Yes.
I'd send, well.
Come on now.
What's the difference?
Drink that bourbon if you want.
My daughters are too stuck up to do some shit like that.
What if they were cooking with onions and bring them home?
Yeah, she would do that. Like, I didn't like onions. She like, shut up. Like,
eat these onions and eat this pussy.
You know what she told me that was the coolest shit ever? Like, she said when a woman's doing something for you, don't ever let her feel like you're not enjoying it, and don't ever let her feel like you're not in charge. I learned that from her.
She was like, "Why are you crying? The onions."
Right. Why are you crying? Because you're sucking my dick too hard.
Ouch.
That hurts.
And you're cooking with onions.
Right. And she was smoking in the bed. Like, I'm 13. Bitch, how you smoking
Terrible.
in the bed?
You came home smelling like cigarettes and onions and pussy and copper.
Right. She was smoking in the bed. I never saw no shit like that. Shona didn't do that.
This is terrible.
This is the funniest child molestation story I've ever heard.
It was
He's still traumatized. He don't know.
I'm traumatized.
She was a sweet girl.
It doesn't sound very sweet.
I'm never eating onions again after this story.
Can we still go back and get her arrested?
Who is this? Where are you, bitch?
Statute of limitations up for that.
I'm 53. She be 60 something.
We gotta fuck her.
Do you
up
ever
or
Google
something.
like people you used to have sex with
I
and see
can't
what the
tell
fuck
you.
they look like?
It was a girl. I won't tell you her last name, but she gave me crabs.
No.
And now
was
she's
old
an
school.
evangelist.
Wow.
So I see her. My name is Evangelist,
Such and such.
and I be like, your kid, church members don't know you gave me crabs when I was 15.
Oh my God. She probably got it from the pastor.
I don't know. I was 15 years old and I used to knock this broad off, right? So my appendix was. Why am I telling all this shit? I fucked your podcast.
No, go ahead. What happened with the crabs in the appendix?
So I'm 15 years old. My appendix. I'm real sick. They take me to the doctor, and so they take my appendix out, right? So when I work up, the nurse, she leans over, she goes, "Cough, baby, cough," because you have to cough when you have surgery. I don't even know why. She said, "You have crabs."
No.
Because they have to shave all your hair off. So I didn't want to tell my mother I had
itching?
crabs.
They didn't help you?
Well, help you?
Did you see the
My
crabs?
insurance don't cover crabs. No, I didn't even.
Because I felt like I've seen
didn't?
pictures of them and they be like crawling around.
But I was a kid, so I tell my uncle, I said, "Uncle Butch, I gotta have this medicine so I can, because of surgery, they cut my hair off and it's gonna itch." And that motherfucker went and got, and he came back and he closed the door. He said, "Nigga, you made me go down there and get this medicine for you.
crabs.
You got crabs, and I got white pants on." I got told, man, I used to go through it.
Yeah, Hughley, we learned so much.
Yes. This was
None of
great.
this shit gonna make it, but I had the best.
It's all gonna make it.
It's all gonna make it.
It's all making it. Trust and believe. Shout out to your wife for dealing with all this shit.
No, I didn't have crabs when I had her.
No, I'm talking about in general.
Hopefully not.
You came
I
into
think.
the relationship with a lot of luggage.
I did.
You came with a lot of baggage.
Yeah. As a
lot of
battered
things
child.
crawling around.
I wasn't a battered child. Sean loved me, and she's a sweet girl. And you're sitting here judging her love.
I'm judging it. Okay, I'm sorry.
You understand, don't you?
I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
You know, crabs never goes away.
I remember sitting in the tub trying
Stephanie,
to
you better
drown
be
them.
careful. You touched them.
They lay eggs.
I know. I had that little comb. It was horrible.
Oh, you had a little comb.
It was horrible. I used to go
You didn't
through
even
it.
have no hair to comb because they cut it all out.
Well, no, I had half. They only cut half.
Did you? So you never saw one of the crabs like walking around?
Yes.
That must have been a terrible feeling.
I was a horrible kid. I can't blame my mother for not liking me. I was horrible. So I can't.
Look at how great you turned out.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and so now
Minus a couple things.
Right.
All right.
I would have a son like me.
You would?
Well, my son's retarded, but he's still a sweet kid.
Well, then he's like you.
You're so hurtful. If I didn't respect you so much, I'd walk out with my half empty glass of bourbon.
You
gotta take the bottle with you too.
Yes, that's yours. Okay, no one's drinking that later. All right, D.L. Hughley, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you,
We really
dog.
had a
I've
great
had a
time
ball.
with
Make
you.
sure you check out his show too. You don't want to talk about your show at all?
Oh wait, we have my show on the what the fuck am I talking about? Well, no, we have BT Comedy Get Down with me, Eddie Griffin, Charlie Murphy, Cedric the Entertainer, and George Lopez. Well, Charlie, he passed, right?
Yes.
So Charlie, I'd always loved Charlie. Mm-hmm. So we had his church at a funeral at a church, and I don't like going to church. So I went to Charlie's funeral because it was Charlie. But the funeral was so long. Like 5 hours later, I was like, I wish I was dead. Why am I not dead?
Stop it.
I I want to die.
God.
Long funerals are the worst.
Well, Charlie Murphy did lip service when I was at Sirius way back in the day.
He's the fucking.
He was really good.
That's crazy.
George Lopez, we were doing this thing for, and I know y'all gonna have to cut it up. I know you're tired, but fucking you
we're
working.
good.
So George Lopez calls everybody. He's doing this thing for Richard Pryor, and so it was me and Sid, and he called Epps, and he called Charlie, and Eddie came on. So we go through this thing to get Eddie Griffin. Richard Pryor statue. So when we play Peoria, Illinois, we have such a good time, we decide that we want to go on tour. And it's weird because blacks and Mexicans in LA don't get along at all.
Right. So I've heard.
It's like the only time you see them together is a prison riot. And so
even those riots in LA, they were together. That's like the only time you ever see them together.
And it was brave of him to do something because it cost him a lot of fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people. Why are you with those? What they call us? Miates. Oh, I don't know what they call us, but whatever it means nigga. Mm-hmm. So you would go to these gigs, and I remember playing the gig in San Antonio, and this cat who had just got out of the joint, and we would take these pictures, and he was tatted up. He's a big Mexican kid, and he shook my hand, and his old lady had tears in her eyes. She said that's the first time he's ever shook a black man's hand.
Oh wow!
So comedy brought
that's great
us all together. Mm-hmm. And one time we were playing a gig in Phoenix, and George told this joke about this black chick, and everybody's calling him racist. And I went, this dude has risked his fan base because he loves the people he loves.
Right.
And that's to me what comedy means. It's like you're supposed to take chances. You're supposed to make motherfuckers not like you. Like somebody gonna see this interview and hate something I said.
Right. Listen, people watch these interviews and hate some of us sometimes.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Not you.
Oh, everybody hates me.
No, they don't. Some people, no. But people be like, Stephanie's my sister in my head.
It's funny because you came on here and you noticed Latina sitting next to you right away, and the people, so many people complain that I'm always talking about how I'm Latina on this show. I get that all the time.
Really?
You don't have to always say you're Puerto Rican. Like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love being Puerto Rican. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Right?
That's his first time shaking a Puerto Rican's hand.
No. Not in my head though. Oh. But it's so like it's like so. I think comedy's brave, and I think. The cats I love that do it, like the Chappelles and the Rocks and the Lopez and the Cedric Entertainers and Eddie Griffin. Like, you can't ever pick a side.
You saw people were upset at Chris Rock just recently?
Yeah.
For telling some jokes about like not wanting to hire women and women because they want to say rape for money or something like that. I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly what happened.
It's so funny. People would never have slaves, but they will have interns.
Slaves.
Which are slaves that you can't sell. I think that we have
some interns get paid.
Yeah. Interns at iHeart get paid.
Yeah, the ones at iHeart get paid.
They do.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
internships they get paid at iHeart.
Not mine.
I did a lot of internships I ain't get paid for though.
Me too.
Well, you're black and Chinese. You built railroads and pick cotton.
I was definitely in there doing both.
You fucking don't. Let me tell you this, whether this makes it or not. I love Charlamagne. And I love Emmy. I think they're very talented. But I think it takes a unique human being to be heard between so distinctly different voices. And you don't do it in a loud way or an obtrusive way. Being you is enough to be clear. And you should always. That's why I was excited to see you.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. I was so excited. I was like, D.L. Hughes don't even know who I am.
That's not true.
But I'm excited. Thank you so much. We had a great time with you.
Thank you, darling.
Now you got to come on the Breakfast Club next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, my contract won't let me do that.
Oh, okay. Well, this is fun. And you have a podcast too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Hughley Truth. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have Donna Brazile on. Y'all don't know. See, y'all don't even know who that is.
Donna Brazile.
Y'all don't even know who that is. Y'all like,
honestly,
I can spell it. Brazile.
Keep doing you. I'm telling you, you're a bad little broad. But I only like the black part of you, the Asian part.
Racism at its finest.
No, I just want to help them. I want them to help me with my homework, but I love them.
You ain't got no homework. Get out of here. All right, lip service. We out of here. Oh, and don't forget we have our live show coming November 28th at Highline Ballroom, the first ever lip service live. So make sure y'all buy tickets. I know we have it all posted in our Instagram pages.
Ticket.
So make sure you come
New York City.
Don't forget, today's episode is brought to you by Tripping.com. One search on Tripping.com lets you filter, compare, and sort over 10 million available properties on trusted sites like VRBO, TripAdvisor, Booking.com, and more. Don't wonder if you're getting the best deal on that New Year's Eve cabin or winter beach vacation. Save an average of 18% per night by booking with Tripping.com. Bottom line, save time and money while booking the perfect vacation rental. Head to Tripping.com/Angela today. That's TRIPPING.com/Angela.